Thank you. Bet you get you some extra points for your class if some of you live at Lynch. Now you can warn the next ones what happens. And they'll feel bad when we don't call on them to do it. Okay, minute approval for the regular meeting of October 21st.
I got a chance to look at them and they look accurate.
Good to me, I'll vote that we approve the minutes.
A second.
Okay.
John?
Yes.
EJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Okay. Schedules of reports, Frank Kitco, zoning inspector.
Excuse me, gentlemen. You should all have copies of activities for last month. There again, you notice with the last 3 months have really picked up in new houses. We got 2, 4, and 2. There again, they're all in the east quadrant of the township. Been pretty busy there. And, other than that, we processed 9 applications. We do have, I think there's 3 pending back there now from additional new houses or accessory structures in connection with the house. So, and we did sign off on 2 sublot consolidations where they put 2 sublots together, which is a process called vacating. It's a legal term, but in essence, they have to, if it's part of a subdivision, when you vacate, you have to publicly, I think it's 14 days, advertise it and so forth, and it's an expensive process to do, I think, because you have to put in legal ads and everything, but there was one in, where you used to, John, was it Maycourt? And there's one in Dew Highlands being done. So. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, any questions for Frank? Okay, Emmer Gordon, Township Highway Superintendent.
Okay, Auburn Township Road Department report for October 2021. The month's agreeable weather was taken advantage of, and patching of potholes was addressed with cold patch and hot mix asphalt. When I wrote this, we had 1 subdivision left to patch. My guys actually took care of that today. I think I just have 2 holes left in the township. I would like to review the amount of asphalt we used to use in the past. Anywhere up to $100,000 worth of hot mix material and cold mix. We worked that down to $50,000. Now that our chips roads especially are stabilized, if you notice, they don't go apart anymore. We're down to just a few $1,000s a year in patching material. So I think our aggressive stance on building base on these roads has really paid off. It's really dropped the amount of maintenance monies that we have to spend, and we can apply that to new surface. Roadside mower was out, and we did take 1 final pass prior to winter, and that's just the burn side so we could see for plowing. We did have 1 down tree on Shaw Road as well, and we did do some brush clearing around signs. I'd like to say that with James and that mower this year, he's really aggressive with it, and we're starting to at least kick back those roadsides. We did have 1 driveway culvert pipe replaced on Waterford Trail, and this brings our RDRs, which are residential ditch requests or just residential requests, down to just 5 left this year, which is really good because over the last couple of years, as I said, with the COVID, everybody's home and noticing every little nuance in their property. So we took care of quite a lot this year for residents. We did have 3 urn burials for the month at the cemeteries. I do think that I do have some more brush clearing up there next spring. We do have a lot of the suckers coming up, the small trees and that. We did have a couple dead trees taken down, and I'd like to review that again this springtime and see what other, not just vegetation, but dead trees that we can take out of the cemetery. Also, we did not do one of the drives this year. We did plan on doing one of the other drives. I'd like to pick that up again next year with the asphalt. We did that with Todd Dam Asphalt Construction Company, and I'd like to do the next loop next spring.
You know, I avoid this road as much as I can. Did they do the approaches up there? That's what they're doing today.
The approaches were done, I still have lips on 2 drives. So I did talk with the engineers about winter service and eliminating those lips so we can get another plow truck without folding the plows.
They were down there doing some asphalting today.
Yeah, they've been doing mill and fill repairs, and they're gonna come in, and it looks like the weather's gonna,
Be favorable. It
They were
looks like
working
they
on the
got
west side of Mount.
2 asphalt machines, so.
yeah. Well, they're doing mill and fill and doing all the full depth repairs first, and then they're gonna come in and do the asphalt. It looks like they might be able to tackle it.
Well, I wanted
Yes, sir.
to mention to the board here, I'd like to also consider doing a couple passes down from the park
Okay.
drive, to go down to the poles. You know,
Okay, yeah, I'll.
what do you
I'll
guys
do it.
think about that? What it would do is eliminate all the potholes that we get at the end of the pavement because of that wheel bounce that you get when you go from asphalt to
Right,
gravel.
right,
And it would also cut down on a lot of the dust.
right, dust and mud. Okay, yeah, I'll look on the top.
You guys
see what
have
we can
any
do.
issue with that, or get Todd up there?
No, I think there's gonna be some construction up there, I'm thinking, we were talking about today at the park next year.
Do you wanna tackle the construction first with the tree removal?
I'm just, when we talk to Todd, I want to include that.
Okay,
And then we can also add on, because we're gonna need to do a center road down through the parking. Well, I'd like to see us do the whole parking over there, but we're gonna need an approach and a culvert where that driveway would turn in, and it would leave at an angle. So it'd be a fairly wide approach down there. Not an approach, it would be an exit, but it'd be fairly wide, maybe 60 feet, do you think, Alan?
Yeah, probably.
probably.
At the,
yeah.
you know, by the time you angle
Yeah.
it
Leave
around.
it short. You don't wanna leave it
Yeah,
short.
we'll go up there, crunch some numbers, I'll
Yeah.
call Todd up, we'll get him up
But I
there.
think we'd like to get Todd involved in that.
Okay.
Todd's done an excellent job for us.
I think Mike brought it up at the last meeting when we decided that, you know, this is all funded through that ARP, American Recovery Plan money. That, yeah, I think Mike's the one that said pay the whole thing.
Okay,
You know,
Yeah, I can't
it's-
see any reason not to, I mean,
It's an eligible project, so let's do it.
okay, we'll do that.
especially while you.
What's, PJ, what am I looking at on time frame on tree removal?
Well, tonight we're gonna, everything's in place to start with the adjustment to the conservation easement with Western Reserve. I believe they told us it'd be somewhere between 2 and 6 months. I'd like to think we're gonna come in at the short end of that.
But we can't do anything until
Until
they
we get that
give us
adjusted.
approval. So we can plan, but we can't even take down any trees or anything until it's,
Okay, alright, we'll just get everything.
But we're gonna plan to do that. That's why I want to plan the asphalt on the existing driveway.
Okay, let's see. Trucks and equipment are being gone over for winter service. Truck 16 is currently at Rush Truck Center. That's an oddball truck, it doesn't have a T-handle for the transmission, it's push button. We had the mobile mechanic come in, and unfortunately, Diamond Logic doesn't include the Allison transmission software to read through, it's like an OBD sensor, OBD2. It can't read the transmission, so he did deduce that it's either the software or a physical plug connection on that, it's an intermittent problem. That is in at Rush Truck Center. I do have an oil change scheduled for that truck. Truck 15 will be having its oil pan replaced in-house. Actually, it's up on the lifts right now. They did the oil, everything's out of it today. They're gonna do the pan tomorrow. Trucks, the new truck 19, he did his oil change today as well, full lube grease. 16, 17, and 18. 18's my large truck, that's done. 17 is the Ford, that's scheduled for Tuesday for an oil change, and the Dodge is getting one as well. So all our maintenance with total loops, everything going over fine tooth comb. But as you guys know as well, anything with a hydraulic hose on it, you put it on the road, 5 hours later it's leaking. So we'll see how we are, but we're looking good right now. We did send letters out to residents concerning the suspension of the Stafford Road reconstruction project until next spring. This will ensure a hard surface for our plow drivers to maintain and the ability to put down de-icing materials. If we were left with a dirt surface, with 1 mile, I'd have to have one truck set up for a mile of road, and it wouldn't help us out. So, we did all talk about that, and that will resume, I believe it's February 1st through the end of April or something, that they have the target dates for next year. Feedback on Stafford Road, I actually had, spoken with a couple of residents that applauded our decision not to tear the road up, for the winter. So, I think we did make the right move there. Other than that, we're poised and ready. I want to discuss Q with you guys. I got the email today from Nancy for membership for the meeting. If you guys want to entertain the idea of keeping them in our back pocket as a backup, because at the end of the year, sometimes there's surplus salt that they have laying around that you could purchase. If we ever run into a 13, 14, 14, 15 situation again, 2013, the salt shortage years. The meeting is November 17th, and I would have to ask your guys' permission to attend if we want to keep our enrolled in Q. Right now, we're with the ODOT consortium, so we haven't dropped Q yet.
We
so.
do buy some supplies from them, don't we, Fred?
From
Was-
Q?
Yeah,
Because
was-
we haven't in quite a while.
Yeah.
And
I
was
mean,
there,
they do-
was there
they
a
do
due,
have
We have that ability, so
Right.
was there
Yeah.
a due situation, was like $200?
$200, yeah.
I think it's worth it.
Okay, so I'll attend on the 17th down in Stowage, municipal building down there.
Never burn any bridges.
No, sir, no. And once again, just to reiterate, even during the great salt shortages, we never ran out. Cargill, we're coming through Ontario again, which is, I know dispatch down there very well. And they do have a new company that's handling the billing though, and I can't remember the name of the company. It's sort of working and allied together with Ontario down there. But we're back with Cargill, so. And that's what I got for you.
Okay, any questions for Gordon, Emmerich?
Yes, sir.
Do we make a motion to purchase the berm equipment?
Adult feed burn machine.
Now, will that fit on
The back of any truck.
one truck or?
It should fit on any of them, or we'll make it, because what we're trying to do is have everything be the same, so, we'll look at the trucks that all have all the same setup on there. And-
Okay,
Get us a
so
quote.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, well, that basically.
make a
told before
motion
is
not
that-
to exceed and let them get it.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
fine.
Because what if we have some more weather, or maybe it has some crazy deliveries.
Well, let's see where the builds are right now, because
That's what I'm saying.
when we accepted our chipper, it was the last one online that had all the materials available for
Yeah, that's what I'm
completion.
saying, let's get the order in.
So then we call Concord, we'll get a price and everything and see where they're at with those Berman mats.
Make a motion, we buy that not to exceed 3,500.
Okay, let me get a
Is
price.
that enough?
Is that adequate?
Yeah, let me see, let me get a price. I think that's the range, 25 to 35 is what I understand.
Okay, 5,000.
Okay.
That's safe. Second. John,
Yes.
EJ,
Yes.
Mike? Yes. Okay. All right. Reports. Mr. Eberly.
I don't really have anything, any additional stuff. Emmerich's pretty eloquently covered everything.
Don't leave me to bed early.
That
EJ.
we discussed. And Emmerich, kind of since I'm on the way out the door, you've done a heck of a job for the township. And I speak from a lot of experience with you and really appreciate all your work.
Thanks.
And we've really grown since that first day out there.
Well, when I started here, and this is, funny thing, these two guys here hired me. Now,
96,
when
that's my
I
first thing I
retired,
did.
it's
My
just
first
really
thing I did.
weird. It's really weird. So, But we started, it was all gravel roads and 2,600 people. Here we are with 6,400 people and 54 miles of roadway, and, you know.
We've come a long way.
All hard
I think
surface.
that first year, that Shaw Road looked like Beirut, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd been bombed.
We went through chip and seal and a lot of things for that.
We're trying to get rid of all the chips in it.
I appreciate that.
I remember odes to gravel road being written in various papers because
Yeah.
there were so many of them. But having grown up on one, and Frank's right down the corner from me down there, and yeah, I don't miss those dust clouds that just hung. It seemed like they'd start in June and they'd end in September. And yeah,
The philosophy used to be,
Side of
if
your
we don't
car.
improve the roads, nobody will move here. That didn't work out so well then.
The side of your car being covered in mud. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Sure.
I've just got one
Oh,
thing.
well, I do have a report on another subject, I'm sorry. I had a long chat with the vice president with Stream on broadband. And one of the things he was asking for is a more definitive usage map we have right now, which Nancy and I are trying to put together. But we did definitely, it's just this Ohio round of funding, of which it's a better than 50% chance that's gonna happen again. However, there is some through the community development, Dave Favorite's old office, I don't know who took over for him.
I don't know.
Anyway, the next step would be to maybe the township partner with the county
Because they have funds available
and
as well.
form a partnership. And we could increase the amount of funding that we could use if we want to pursue a contract with Windstream or.
Is that correct
Yeah.
that the county has funds available
Yes,
as
they
well
do.
to throw at
Yeah,
this?
let's see what the county status is on that, because what they were talking about is they weren't teaming up with any of the Windstream or anybody else. They were gonna hold the funds, and then any townships that did team up, then they would, so I don't know if we'd have to team up with Windstream first.
According to this gentleman, we need to team up with the county. And he really was interested in, of all these guys I've talked to, he's a lot more interested in talking to us. However, the numbers that you're talking about are in the millions, not in the hundred thousands. But it's possible because, hey, there's a lot of revenue to be gained by whoever hooks up and provides this service. It's a moneymaker for these
Like I
guys.
said, we have to see, you know,
And
how.
they have the main line running down here, which is I say a big start. It's a start for them. And so anyway, of all of this going on for probably, 4 years, this is the most enthusiastic I've been after in talking with people. Now, the guy from Spectrum, he led us down a primrose path, and then, we jumped through every hoop that this guy threw up, but I feel like this is a much better opportunity.
Good.
So I'm pursuing it.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I got.
I just have one thing to report, and townships had some wonderful residents, and we lost Betty Noakes, who was
Oh.
100 years old.
Oh, my.
Now, last summer, you guys might remember, they were trying to do a 100th birthday party, but COVID, and they had to cancel all those plans. They tried to do a drive-through, but there was some family thing came up, and unfortunately, she didn't get to celebrate her 100th like the family wanted to. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is in lieu of donations or flowers, she's, in her obituary is, they'd like to have donations to the Auburn Museum.
Oh.
So, I mean, very kind of her, you know, on her,
Mhm.
on her way out, and I don't know what that'll amount to, but it's certainly appreciated, and you may recall that when the church sold last summer, they also made a huge donation to whatever it is we're gonna do with the museum, and as well as another big donation for cemetery improvements.
She was definitely, I can remember her coming to the meetings a few times over in the other building. PJ?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She, I mean, I haven't seen her for a while. I think she was with her son in Texas, I think, for a bit there, so I haven't really seen her much. And I'm sure I would have been there at the church or at the Adam Hall, and we done something last summer. But last time I saw her, she did not act like a 98-year-old woman, I will tell you that.
I saw her, I think it was fall last year,
Mhm.
and she was just sharp.
Always, yeah.
Sharp. She was
always-
frail, but her mind was just totally sharp.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very kind of her and her family.
How old was she?
100 years old. Last summer she was 100.
You know who still fits into that category and is still alive here in the township is Dorothy Papp.
Is that right?
Dorothy Papp is still alive, yeah. She's over at Heather Hill.
Well, she'll be missed, a long-time president. And I think that's very thoughtful and generous of the family. That's it.
Fred?
The only thing I have is, I need a resolution passed to move $7,800 to land improvement, account in the general fund. So, it is, supplemental appropriations of $7,800 to the general fund, 1,690, 330 land improvement.
Now, is that for the start of the thing with
Western Reserve Land
with
Conservancy?
Conservancy? Yeah, I saw that then going through here.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. to do
I'll
that,
second.
yes.
John?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. That it?
That's it?
Okay, I've only got one thing. When I met with the fire department, I ran past them to, gave each a copy of the guidelines for the ARP funds, and asked them to go through them and see anything that they felt would fall into the category. And so I finally got a response from Mario, the president, Mario Minacci. It says, Mr. Troyan, per your request at our last meeting for project proposals to be funded under the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act, the fire company would like to place the following under consideration. Okay, so they don't expect anything, that just, this is something I asked them to do, to say, what would you have that would fall under these guidelines? One is personal protective equipment, self-contained breathing apparatus, air packs. Approximately costs $178,000 to replace all the packs, including individual face masks. These SCBA will be out of compliance by the end of next year. And some notes says PPEs are listed as an allowable expense under public health section of the ARPA fund use. Second, under the personal protective is turnout gear. They got a cost on that of approximately $28,000. This is for boots, helmets, shields, all the turnout gear for things that are basically worn, and plus to handle the new employees they're bringing in. And then the last one they had was a response vehicle, car or truck to replace the existing chase vehicle. It's used for almost every emergency. Right now they've got an Explorer. They have equipped with equipment so that this goes out first to any rescue site, any call, to assess the situation and get things moving faster.
So estimated cost on the vehicle with lights and equipment would be about $50,000. So anyway, these are just options. They came up with the three they could come up with. I sent this up to the prosecutor's office. Kristen will take a look at it. What I want to do is get her feedback to see, okay, are any of these viable? Or if they're all viable, and then we can put them on our list of things as potential uses for the ARP funds. So,
Yeah, I think we're starting with, what is it, Fred, just shy of $675,000 there?
Yes, we still have only gotten our first payment.
First payment.
Some thousand.
And of course, I think we've established that it's the board's wish to pay for this parking lot.
yeah, the parking lot, that's the one
In its
thing, the only
entirety.
thing we've really established
Kind of
that.
important.
We got some prices for some of it, like the tree removal. Did Buckeye have a quote or something?
No, but we don't have a
We
quote.
don't have a quote for it?
No, just lined up to,
I think our
He did give us a quote before.
yeah, the only thing we acted on, or probably shouldn't have, was the tree removal. I think we had a quote, I think you're right.
Let me go back so I have it in my
I
file.
thought it was around 35,000.
And asphalt now is something else.
So that's, we didn't ask
We
for
don't
the
have a
asphalt.
quote.
I like to get, as many ideas and things on the table as we can.
Yeah, sure.
Up front, because the last time it was like, here's $360,000, you have a week to spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's scurrying and just making stuff up. And
Have you contacted the Land Conservancy yet?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so what do they have to say?
Well,
Other than you just send us your money or what?
you send the money and then it's gonna start with site visits, and I don't have that whole package, but the whole
Yeah.
procedure.
basically sending them the money,
Yeah.
giving them the check, that starts it rolling.
Okay.
$3,500 is what.
Because
the
we're up
check is.
against this Indiana, am I right, Emmerich? Are we up
November
against
1st to
that?
March 31st, just
Yeah.
supposedly, yes, that's,
So-
You can do tree removal between November,
November 1st and March
March
31st.
That's the only
31st.
time you can.
So we'd like to get this, change enacted midwinter, I'd like to think.
Yeah, this is a
They
quick
give you,
little
they give you,
project
they give you
for
a
these
2-month
guys.
to 6-month window that they
Yeah.
expect to get this done in.
I
I'd like to
think,
think we're gonna be at the short end of this, because
Yeah.
we've been talking about
Yeah.
this for 2 years now.
First thing, we should get ahold of Gatoski, delineate the property line on that side. I think that's
Yeah,
first steps.
we should do that, we can do that
I
just
didn't get
on
ahold
our
of Joe
own.
yet, so.
To get the eastern property line
Correct, yeah.
surveyed.
That can be done while we're.
Emmerich,
waiting
would
for
it be, would you want that surveyed the whole length?
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I need to, where it pops out.
Go
where
on
it
down
used
to Washington.
Well, I don't think we need it that far.
No?
I have pins there already.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, our wonderful neighbors have their corners staked out too.
Oh, sure, the backyards.
Yeah.
Okay, so where, how far down would you want them to go?
That would, you'd pop out in the existing parking lot.
Okay,
Right.
because we could get that started.
Right, correct, that'd be the first thing. Let's see where we're at, so.
And anybody have a problem with calling Joe?
No, not at all.
You want me to take care of that?
Absolutely.
We'll take care of that. Get it started.
Okay, anything else? Okay, new
I'm
business?
just thinking here a second, just a second.
Thought I
How
heard
about
something.
along the driveway, Emmerich? Is there any question there that the ditch is in the right spot?
Yeah, we're in the right spot.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mike, I'm just thinking,
That was all
if we
knocked
get
out.
him out there.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I say something, you're gonna start thinking, and you stop thinking so I can go move forward. You know what happens when you
I
think?
think we had some neighbors that were paying some pretty close attention when we were putting that
Right.
road in too, so I'm sure that was all delineated done. Yeah.
Well, I think the north one's fine, the guy on the south, I don't know if he would be playing, playing games with it, with that property line, cause he was bringing those shipping containers in and everything, so, okay, we'll get that handled.
I'm sorry.
Okay, new business?
Wait a minute, you got a question?
What street was this talking
Oh.
about? I'm sorry.
Yes,
What like area street was this talking about? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
The Auburn Community Park.
Oh,
Which is up off of Munn Road.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Are we down to old business or new business?
Yeah, we're down to new business.
Okay, let's make a motion to put the franchise fees from Southern Link, $2,145.07 in the land acquisition fund.
Second.
John?
Yes,
EJ?
we're still doing that.
Yes. Okay, any public comment? Well, you already have the game on that, but
No,
You
we have
cheated.
a project, we can't just, we have to go into executive session.
okay. All right, so I'll make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of BZA, ZC, and KCE representative interviews pursuant to RC 122.22G.
Second.
There will be no
Being-
business
being an
after
income-
the-
Being an incoming trustee, Mr. McCune's invited to the executive session.
Yes.
John,
Yes.
EJ?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.